to that?
Well, I was interested in the article in conjunction with his stuff about, you know, the 350 million a week we're going to save. I mean, a lie is a lie, no matter how often it's repeated. And I did sense a little bit that, you know, we've got an amateur gambler, he's lost a lot of money at the table, he's now doubling his stakes. It's not seriously credible, but it's very difficult to see how Brexit is going to be a success. And, you know, actually, from the country's point of view, I hope we don't suffer serious damage, but all the signs are from the negotiation that Brexit is going to be tough, that we're going to increasingly, the risks are we're going to be polarised between either reversing course, exit from Brexit, or jumping off a cliff and pursuing a very extreme form. The compromise options are looking more and more difficult.
Brexit?
Well, they're two separate issues. I mean, I think people in the Tory party, Labour Party, in perfectly good faith, have put forward this idea of a transitional arrangement. But it is, of course, essentially kicking the can down the road. At some point, you're either in or out. And the problem is that when people talk about a transitional arrangement, they usually mean that, you know, the British government will do what it's like and will keep all the benefits of the single market and custom union, and that is not going to be on offer. And I think a lot of this stuff around transitional agreements is actually wishful thinking. But on the referendum issue, we don't want to rerun the last referendum. It's happened. The process of Brexit negotiations started. What we're talking about is a first referendum on the facts. Once we know what the Brexit negotiations have produced, what the consequences are likely to be, we trust the people to make a judgment. Do you want to press on with all this, or do you want an exit from Brexit? That's the issue. Well, because setting off is quite different from the destination. We don't know what Brexit means. The government doesn't know what it means. It's still trying to sort its priorities out. It could be hard, it could be soft, it could be extreme, it could be mild, it could be protracted, it could be sudden. It has all kind of different implications for different industries. You know, when we know the end point, when the negotiations are complete, that is a point at which to trust the people to make a judgment on this matter. We're not rerunning the past. That's gone.
It's confidence.
Well, one of the things I've tried to open up as a sort of big overarching theme is the whole issue around inequalities, which have become absolutely extreme, and particularly in the wake of the financial crisis. One of the biggest is between generations. You know, people of my generation, the whole job structure was more secure. We had access to an occupation in, you know, 20s, even if you're on quite modest income. There were a whole lot of advantages which older people have that the younger generation don't have. It's producing some jarring inequalities, a feeling that young people could be worse off than their parents. And I want to address the whole of that issue. You know, affordable housing on a much, much bigger scale, looking at some of the opportunities in education, revisiting the issue about how you fund universities, further education. I want the Liberal Democrats to be absolutely at the centre of that debate.